friends. This is the program Empire of Lies, where we discuss manipulation and disinformation in Russian media. Orban's visit, an attempt to regain control of the peace plan debate, and combating Western interpretations of the leak. The latest episode of 60 Minutes is built around two major narratives: Viktor Orban's surprise visit to Moscow and the Kremlin's ongoing attempt to seize the information initiative around Trump's 28-point peace plan, which has been compromised by leaks of talks by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Both narratives are presented as parts of a single narrative. Russia is the center of real diplomacy. The US is ready for a deal. Europe is nervous and sabotaging, and Ukraine is the main culprit in the lack of peace. 1. Orban as a European mediator who legitimizes Moscow. The first segment of the program is a live broadcast from Vnukovo and emphasizes the exclusivity of the event. But the real goal is not so much to publicize the visit as to create a framework. Orban is the only European leader behaving rationally, preserving economic interests and building his own channel of communication with Moscow. Skabiva's rhetoric presents the visit as confirmation of the EU's international isolation, which is peeping through the keyhole, proof of Russia's influence on energy processes in Europe, the argument for Hungary's energy security as the reason for the trip, a possible bridge to a future Trump-Putin summit, underscoring the Kremlin's desire to regain its status as an equal negotiator with the US. This approach is important for Russian propaganda. It creates the illusion that Moscow is completely independent of the West and has alternative channels of influence within the EU. Today, we are holding talks with the Russian president. We have one goal. From a personal perspective, the goal of the talks is to ensure that we continue to ensure Hungary's energy security. Hungary has repeatedly chosen a different path. While the rest of Europe unanimously supports Ukraine, Hungary blocks decisions, weakens sanctions, and sides with forces seeking to divide us. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban will travel to Moscow on November 28th as part of a large delegation. Energy issues are primarily on the agenda. Hungary's partners in NATO and the European Union were unaware of Orban's intentions to visit Russia. It was also likely not coordinated with the United States. 2. Leaked transcript, an attempt to shift responsibility to Europe and the US. The central theme of the broadcast is the Kremlin's struggle to cope with the consequences of the leaked conversation between Steve Witkoff and Yuri Ushakov. The program does several things simultaneously. 1. It mitigates potential reputational damage to Russia by claiming the recording could have been fake or a Western provocation. 2. It redirects the accusations, citing interference by European intelligence agencies and Bloomberg sabotage. 3. It makes Washington, rather than Moscow, the victim, claiming the publication dealt a blow to Trump's team. This rhetorical maneuver allows the Kremlin to escape a situation where dialogue with the US could have looked like behind-the-scenes consultations, alien to the principle of equality. 3. Reinterpretation of the phrase, "until the last Ukrainian." A separate section of the program is devoted to an attack on Western media outlets that headlined the phrase, "We will fight until the last Ukrainian dies." The program attempts to prove that the meaning was reversed, that it was actually about the West's position that the Daily Telegraph is deliberately engaging in falsification. This dispute over a single phrase is revealing. The Kremlin understands that such a statement is dangerous for its international position and therefore actively changes the context. 4. Positioning Trump as a supporter of peace, Europe as a supporter of war. The program builds a clear propaganda outline. The US, represented by Trump, is ready for a deal. Europe is against peace and afraid of losing influence. Ukraine is the main destroyer of any peace agreement. Russia is the only party openly declaring dialogue. This discourse reflects an old trope of the Russian media system, dividing the Western camp into rational Americans and aggressive Europeans. This simultaneously fosters hopes for a grand bargain with Washington and builds a narrative about the evil EU. Think, analyze, draw conclusions, and don't be fooled. This was the Empire of Lies program.